Well, March is National Kidney Month, and kidney disease is impacting Black and Hispanic communities at a higher rate than others. Joining me now is Leanne Saylor, founder of Mulligan's Living Kidney Donors, and Marcus Edwards, who famously received a kidney donation after showing up at a Bears game holding up a sign. That went viral. So we are thrilled to have you both here today. Thank you so much. I guess, Leanne, let's just chat first about what is Mulligan's Living Kidney Donors?
We are a nonprofit that started 12 years ago because my husband needed a kidney. We didn't know anything about the kidney world, and I had to go through so much by myself. Luckily, I'm the kind of person, I didn't just take one diagnosis.
Good for you.
I went and studied and found out, and we ended up at the Mayo Clinic, and they guided me that a living donor transplant was the best option for him, rather than to be on dialysis for the rest of his life. Or, you know, and dialysis is much, I don't know how much you know about it, but I've learned a lot. He never had to do dialysis. We outran it. But I felt a calling. I had to help other people, and so we started it. We had no idea what we were doing. We put one foot in front of the other, and we just did over our 200th kidney transplant. We help with them. We don't actually do them.
Right.
But you know, I just took it on as my mission.
But to have one place where you can go and learn important information, how, like you have in the video here, how you can save a person's life. It's huge.
It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
But to be the person that people are complimenting, and I'm just doing what's right. You know, I'm just helping people that are walking through. It's a dark, dark path.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no greater gift than feeling like, you know, giving.
I was going to say, Marcus knows that firsthand.
Marcus
you know
knows.
how that can change
I don't
your
know
life.
what that feels like. So,
you know, Marcus, kind of take us back, because I mean, I feel like a lot of us saw you at this Bears game holding up a sign, "I need a kidney," and you had your phone number up there.
Yes.
For people to reach you. By the way, Marcus is a Southern Indiana resident.
Yes.
Up at this game, when you went up there to do that, did you think, okay, you know, I just got to go for it. I got to try.
No, I had no idea I was going to do it. We got to the stadium early, so I've never been to a home game in Chicago, and we got to the stadium early. I wanted to see the stadium, see what it all had, you know, and what it was like. And there was a booth, and it was Staley Bear, the mascot, had a booth, and it's like, make your fanatic fan sign, you know. And me, as a fan, you know, I went over there. I'm gonna make a sign, you know. It's my team, and God led me in a different direction. I just wrote, "I need a kidney," you know. I picked up a black, green, and red marker, you know. I put my name on it, my blood type, my phone number. My wife, she looked over my shoulder and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm making this sign." And she said, "You gonna hold that up?" And I was like, "Well, every chance I can." And got sat down, and I was able to, doing commercials, you know, I'd hold it up, you know, and the lady beside me thought nice enough to take my pictures, and she told me, "We're gonna make this go viral."
Yeah. Oh, and did it?
It did. Before we left the stadium, my phone was dead from calls. I couldn't charge it up till we got back to the hotel room, and the journey began.
And then who finally, can you share the story about how that kidney finally came about in the transplant?
Yeah, it took a little while. It's 2.5 years before I got the kidney. And it's crazy how things came together. I didn't really understand what Mulligan's was, and I was kind of skeptical, you know. I was like, well, why doesn't everybody have a kidney if Mulligan's is doing so good? You know, and things got really dark, and I called Leanne one night, and I was off work, and I was like, "Hey, I need some help. I don't know what to do or where to go. I've done everything I can." And Leanne, lady doesn't stop.
Yeah.
She was on vacation, and she said, "I'm not brushing you off. Give me your information. I'm gonna give you a phone number. I want you to call her. She's gonna get you started at the University of Cincinnati." And then we're going to take it from there. I got started with that. I met all the team, Dr. Woodle, the head surgeon, and in charge of the kidney transplant at UC. And he promised me, he said, "You've been on here longer than I'd like." He said, "If you don't have one in 6 months, I'm going to give you a kidney. We're going to get you one from somewhere." My donor saw my post as we re-aired it. she came forth and was tested, and man, almost the rest is history. I got the call, headed back to another Bears game. You know, we was going to a preseason game. My wife, she's like, man, we just been sitting around. We couldn't do much. COVID, couldn't be around people, but it was lifted a little bit. And so we were headed to that game, and I was getting the oil changed in the car. And I got a call from UC, and they said, we have a kidney. We're scheduling a date. Be ready.
How about that?
Yes. And October 17th, 18th, I got my kidney transplant. It was from a beautiful lady. Her name is Jennifer Williams. I used to introduce her as my kidney donor. Now I introduce her as my friend and my angel. And she's just a beautiful woman, and we stay in contact.
And she lives close to him in Jeffersonville, Indiana.
Isn't that wonderful?
And this was all on national television.
Yeah.
I had seen his phone number and called him prior to this, and he saved it. 2 years later, he called me.
And Leanne, I also want to talk just before we leave here, just the importance that kidney disease strikes disproportionately Black and Hispanic communities. They're risk and minority populations, and it's just so important to get screened and make sure that there are resources available.
I have learned a lot from people over the last 10 years. There are communities that it affects worse than it does Caucasian communities, African American communities, and Hispanic and minorities. The disparities for them are just not, it's not fair. It's not okay. So I've taken it on, and I've got Marcus with me. The education is very important. Get screened. African Americans are 30% more likely to develop kidney disease rather than anybody else. So Marcus is helping me about the factors that go into that: high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes. The knowledge is just not there, and that's one of the things that we're doing
Leanne and
next.
Marcus, thank you for spreading more knowledge today and getting the word out again today. And we just want to remind everybody, for more information, maybe you feel called to be a living donor right now. Maybe you know somebody that needs help. This is your chance. Just head over to their Facebook page, Mulligan's Living Kidney Donors.